Unfortunately, I have to take the reader down a path that in some ways is very dark before I can go to my favorite section, which is all about solutions. But before we move on, there are a few things I'd like to bring up. First thing is that I want to make sure that we all understand that although these papers have mainly talked about negative extraterrestrials, these are in minority out there. For the most part, star beings and star races are friendly and peaceful. But it's the Wes Penre papers, the negative ones, who stand out, unfortunately, and we have had the misfortune of having to deal with some of the darkest ones. The universe in general is actually quite a friendly place. I really want to emphasize this one more time, because it's easy to get the wrong impression. Those who know about us humans, more star races than we may think, are very excited to meet us and make friends with us. However, many of them are quite concerned about the path the majority of mankind is going down, a path that can be very threatening to the survival for both them and us. In spite of this, they have no intentions to be violent with us or treat us badly. Most of the star races do whatever is in their power to assist, but must attend to the laws and rules of the universe. The basic ones, such as free will and non-interference, are not something a council somewhere made up because they didn't have anything else to do. These stipulations are physical and metaphysical laws, which support how energies naturally flow. If these agreements are broken, there are consequences that not only affect single beings, but sometimes whole star systems, even whole galaxies. The way things are today here on Earth prevents all these benevolent star races from making contact with us. So, and I can't stress this enough, it's really up to us what we make out of this, but we don't have all the time in the world. Almost all of us know that something is quite wrong with this world, but we are hoping someone else will take care of it, and that one morning, we will read in the papers that everything has changed to the better and there are no more wars, disasters, famines, and diseases. Well, it's not going to happen that way. Of course, there are good and bad individuals in all societies and amongst all star races, something I've tried to point out as well. But to avoid to make things too complex, I have addressed a whole species, such as the Syrians, as if they all have one common brain, like in a hive society. In reality, this is not the case. The same thing applies regardless if we talk about Syrians, Aryans, or any other star race out there. Still, I concluded that it's probably better if we think of these star races as archetypes when we discuss their interaction with us humans, and therefore I have generalized them as if they are all united in their efforts. They are not. There are those who do not support what is being done to humans here on Earth and choose not to participate. I just want to make this absolutely clear to the reader. The star races are presented in an archetypical manner, and their behavior, good or bad, is not representative for each and every individual of the particular species. But I also want to say that if I would meet a Syrian on the street, I would not assume that he or she is friendly. With that said, let us go ahead and discuss the last few things relating to the Syrian warlords and their interaction with mankind. This information is about you, it is about me, and it is about mankind as a species, and our survival potential as a soul group. We, who live on this planet right now, are the ones who have to make the choices and hard decisions on behalf of future generations. We have a chance in perhaps 1,000,000 years. Logically, it would be one chance in 26,000 years, but because of the time loop we've been sitting in for I don't know how long, each cycle is not going to be this intense. Next time we are probably not going to have as much help as we do now, and perhaps there won't be a next time either, because of the shape we're going to be in by then. So this is really it. The Earth is quarantined in more than one way. The grid is locked by the Syrians, although there are holes in it. The stargates are closed, although some of them have been opened, and not necessarily by the warlords, and we're sitting in a time loop, although many of us may break out this time. The Earth herself is vibrating on a frequency which is false, and therefore very hard to find by other extraterrestrials, although many have now found their way here. As the reader can see, things are starting to happen in our favor, and the Syrians are losing ground. This is not the kind of arrival the incoming had expected after their long nap. So, the breakdown of the Syrian entrapment system is happening, but are we humans the one who have solely managed to accomplish this? The answer is no, we have had help. We have discussed that the Syrians want the numbers, but the numbers benefit us, too. The 7 billion people on the planet is a ceiling, and we will not exceed that amount of people, or if we do, it's not going to be with much. The truth of the matter seems to be that since the baby boom after World War II and up until now, millions of star beings have broken through the grid and taken bodies here on Earth, not as walk-ins, but they have come in the traditional way through the birth canal, entered baby bodies, and have grown up here. The difference between them and the common human is that they were born without amnesia, and they normally have no past lives here on Earth. Why did they come? To fight the Syrians? No, these beings do not come to fight. They are only here to help increasing the frequency so we can break the time loop and raise the vibration of the planet, so she can go through her own transition. This has been successful, apparently, because the potential future versions of Earth that were just probable realities earlier and not yet energized are now energized and have become true versions of our planet in the future. So I've learned. What does this mean, exactly? It means that if a certain probability of a future has been solidified, there are enough people who have put their energy into that future probability and made it into a possibility. Now we have several different versions of a future Earth that are getting occupied as we speak, and the multiverse has adjusted to these new parallel realities. This apparently happened earlier this year, or by the end of 2011. These futures that are branching out are only the beginning, however. In a way, we are all creating our own future, with our own version of a future Earth. Still, there are going to be versions of Earth that stay similar to how she is now, but there are also going to be a lot of branching off into parallel worlds, vibrating on higher frequencies.